The balloon!
It's really funny to see him freak out about it.
Oh,
but it's not the first one, I don't think.
No, but it's, I mean, look, it was a fucking balloon, man. It was like...
Well, what was it gonna do?
I don't know, man. I think it was like, well, what they originally said was that it was like a weather fucking experiment balloon that got blown off track. And everybody was like, oh no, it's a spy, this. And I was like, well, what if it actually just was a fucking weather balloon? Because it wasn't like, I mean, you saw the pictures of it, man. The fucking thing was, it wasn't like... It
just looks like a balloon.
Yeah, but it wasn't like exactly like, it wasn't sneaky. I mean,
no, it's a big white balloon.
Massive, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I think it was, who the fuck knows? But anyway, just they use it like...
What did the Chinese say? No response yet.
Well, they got pissed off when they shot it down, but they just, you know, it was just like a...
Well, it shouldn't have been there anyways, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, whatever the fuck it was. But, like, they, you know, my thing is about just the way they all went fucking mental. Like, there were, like, these people going on last week about Ukraine and government military spending and blah, blah, blah. And they're all like, people like touting these people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these people on the right in the U.S. as like an anti-war voices. But the minute this fucking stupid balloon went floating over the middle arse end of fucking nowhere in Montana, everybody went fucking ballistic.
I mean, they're like, there's something, they're like, I don't know, they just want China's dick, so that's hard to say that, but they want China bad.
Yeah,
they want China bad, and they're going to get it.
But they want that, they want to, as always, like, with China, they want to just be at the brink of war. Because the brink of war is like, it's money. That's a money, that's where
then you're prepping for full-scale war.
That's where the money, I mean, I already heard them say it, like somebody on one of the Sunday news fucking shows said, I think it was like, somebody said to Rand Paul, like, you know, he's like the anti-government spending guy, right?
He's full of shit. Anyways,
he's completely full of shit.
I mean, I saw that,
but
anyways, go ahead.
He's completely full of shit. It's like, don't you think this is the time that, you know, this is not the time to talk about lowering defense spending? And
he said that?
No. Someone said that to him.
Oh.
You know, because he's the not spending guy.
Oh, he's kind of scared me for a second.
Yeah,
but he's actually not the not spending
No,
guy.
not at all. But like he's the like, let's cut fucking Social Security and let's sell the post office and let's fucking do all that shit.
The fact that they're having that conversation about cutting Social Security in this time, it's like, you know what? Yeah. Also, too, they're supposed to be talking about regulating. I think they're passing some laws right now to like deregulate like the few amount of medications they have, like the pricing on it.
Yeah.
I think that's coming right now.
Yeah.
So Chinese balloon.
Yeah, they've got that, and they've got like, you know, and
maybe the Chinese balloon is a distraction.
Like there's a fucking, the Supreme Court's going to be back like next week or the week after.
Back from what?
And they're whatever fucking recess fucking shit they take.
Okay.
And they're going to kick that student loan thing right out. So that's gone.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to last. I don't think he could do it.
So yeah, so like, and he's doing the State of the Union today, actually, later on today.
Yeah.
But you know, the balloon thing just freaked me out because I was just like, I mean, this is just fucking nonsense. And they sent an F-22 fighter jet up to shoot this fucking thing down, which like the military had already said, whatever it was, like it was over fucking the ocean in over South Carolina, so it was already gone. It was like already gone. Just leave it. Let it go. Why bother doing the whole?
Maybe that was just a little like blink or a
it was
wink
a,
at
well, it was show. It was a little. It was all show, like shooting
Yeah.
this fucking thing down.
But
But
it's been fun for the dudes that did it.
they shot it down with an F-22 fighter jet and a fucking missile. And the missile they fucking killed it with was like, it cost $1 million, the missile, and like just to spin up the F-22. Like an F-22 fighter jet doesn't go up on its, read all this today, right?
Okay.
F-22 fighter jet
like,
doesn't go up on its own, right?
Okay.
There's like 4 of them in a wing, so it goes up as a wing of F-22 fighter jets, right? They all go up together, and then with that is a K-127 fucking like fueling plane that has to fly with them as well, because the things use about like, they use like 700 fucking gallons a second. You know what I mean? They've got to constantly be refueled. So they're like, that trip to shoot that fucking balloon down, which was like really...
What do you think, like a couple $1 million easy?
I think probably in and around 7 or 8 million. Just for that one little thing to shoot that one fucking balloon down. Which like they've already said was like...
have a conversation about cutting Social Security for the majority of people. Like
and
that,
sending...
and 7, 8 million...
Spend 7 million to shoot down a balloon. Like... Okay, it was one thing if like they were shot it down like when it was coming across the border from it was in the Aleutian Islands, like off of Alaska, and nobody gave a shit, right? But like it wasn't until people saw it and put up pictures,
that it was around.
and then like Tucker Carlson got a hold of it, and the right-wing media got a hold of it, and made Joe Biden look weak on China.
I mean,
and so they went and did that, and they spent $7-8 million to fucking shoot the fucking thing down.
Like,
and,
our idea, right? Like, okay, for me, how old was I? I was really young when September 11th happened, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, and I was in Canada.
Yeah.
And when it happened, I remember just kind of having this feeling. This was as a kid, probably like 11 or something. I remember being like, hey, like how powerful, like our idea of how powerful, how a risk and security, of how much that's covered by the American military, because they're obviously the most powerful in the world.
Absolutely.
Right? So I was.
Keep going.
It's to me, I'm wondering, like for all intents and purposes, like how real is that feeling? Because I always.
This is the point I've been making. I made from there. From then I was like, listen, what's the point of spending all that money on the fucking military when?
Because that was a shoestring budget in comparison.
These guys, like a bunch of guys, like this one guy in a cave, running this whole operation, and 19 guys with fucking box cutters.
Yeah, you make your point there, buddy.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's like, excuse me.
Yeah.
You guys did this whole big show with the fucking PowerPoint and everything, and this guy's in a cave.
But even this thing with this fucking balloon, how much money is spent on fucking surveillance, and they managed to float this fucking balloon from China, fucking China, all the way over to fucking.
And I mean, to pass through Europe. How many
and
NATO
sites?
More,
I know, and they want more money. Yeah. Like they want more money.
They need
like
more,
every time they fuck up, they ask for more money.
It's not them who needs more money. We need more sense. Us.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So
no, seriously, it's absolutely
this
crazy.
whole fucking military thing is just insane.
But do you really think, use that September 11th thing as an excuse? But do you really think? I mean, besides like using like the best propaganda machine in the world, which is like Hollywood and movies and stuff. Because even with the police, we have this idea that the police are like, oh, they're going to be on to you and again. But a lot of murders go unsolved.
Oh, huge quantities of fucking murders go unsolved.
So I'm just wondering for a second.
Yeah.
Maybe, is that like not something people could bring up? Like that's even like, I don't even know.
But I mean, Google untested rape kits in fucking Los Angeles, man. Like
what do you
women.
Mean Google untested?
Google untested rape kits in Los Angeles.
Oh, Google! I thought you were saying Google untested. I was like, how can you untest something?
No, but like untested rape kits, rape kits that have been taken and not followed up on.
No, so much all over the United States.
And yet they've got cops like driving down the street, fucking pulling people over for fucking taillights and then murdering them.
Those kids?
Yeah, just test the kits and fucking go and actually arrest some real fucking bad people.
You might cast this far off net by testing kids with all this information that you're always.
You might catch a fucking you might stop a terrorist fucking plot. You know what I mean? You never know, man. But it's just such nonsense.
I actually thought about that. I was like,
it's
my perception of like this power that they have, and like because they're always talking about Big Brother and Google, and I'm like. Seems like the corporations are the ones running because they seem to be there before anything.
But it's all a fucking money scheme. I mean, like this whole thing, like you take. Remember I was going on about the tanks last week.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't want to give the Abrams M1 tank because it was like it wasn't suitable to the Ukrainian battlefield. It's like, well, what battlefield is it suitable for? I mean, is it like there's got to be a special kind of like battlefield that meets like the exact requirements for this
Chicago,
exactly fucking Chicago's fucking the hood in Chicago is the perfect fucking place for it, you know what I mean? But all this money that gets spent, and it's all about just spending more fucking money, and it's all about I mean, even this whole China thing, it got spun up into this China balloon thing, got spun up into this big fucking story, which it fucking is not. I guarantee you, they said it was like a private company sent this thing up. No, I don't know. I don't fucking believe the Chinese either. But, I mean, it wasn't exactly like they were hiding the fucking thing. And then you have other ones going like, well, I think they just did it to give us the finger, so we had to shoot at them. I'm like, well, then let them give you the finger. What are you, 12? You know what I mean? Like somebody gives you the finger, you just go, oh, yeah, whatever, and you just fucking turn around. Like especially if
you say
you know what I mean?
I say cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But instead, like, no, they had to spin up these fucking F-22.
Why did they just send a balloon back? It's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Just they should have sent the plane up there just to go.
Yeah.
And blow on it so it goes the other way.
Funny. I don't know. And what I saw mostly, like, what was going on, like, in, like, these loops in the media of this stuff, like, oh, now we're talking about the balloon. Oh, now we're talking about Social Security. Oh, now we're talking about this, Just, like, whoever wanted to win the loop of the balloon thing was, like, basically, like, a barrel of idiots. Like, I saw it, and I was just like, we're talking about a balloon.
Everything on the fucking America. I mean, like, I've been, like, the weather's been kind of shitty. Like, today was a really shitty day. I was inside all day, and I had, like, the fucking...
That's when you dig in.
I have a VPN, so I was watching American... Like, I have this fucking... It's New York 12. It's on Tubi TV.
That's because that's home for you.
Yeah, it's New York 12,
That's
and it's
where
just
you
like,
get your
and it's like an hour long. It's like an hour loop of like it goes around. Like it'll be like like Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau County, Suffolk County, then Westchester and Putnam County, Rockland County. There's a great story of Rockland County. From it happened like last week. It's creating quite a stir, and it kind of went national. It was actually on the BBC. I saw it on the BBC. I wasn't even going to fucking mention it, but then I saw it today on the BBC.
Okay.
There was like February 1st was February's Black History Month, right?
Oh no.
So the school menu, and I'm not. This is no word of a fucking lie.
You gonna say chicken and waffles again?
The school menu on this day in Rockland County, in a school in Rockland County, was chicken and waffles and watermelon. Was the
okay, but I think okay, is that a true story? Because they said this
no,
last
no,
year and the year before.
No, it absolutely is.
But they said this the year before.
It absolutely is a true story. And I saw this was on New York 12. I saw this like 2 days ago when it first came out, and then it made the rounds, and it's actually now world news, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, it's a fucking ridiculous story. It's a ridiculous fucking story, but. The thing about it is that they've now decided that they're going to give the people at the company that run the school lunches, right? Mm-hmm. There's a company that runs the school lunches, because it's not like it used to be where there was like, lunch lady Gladys, like in The Simpsons, who works for the school district.
Aramark or something.
It's Aramark.
Yeah. Is it Aramark for real?
It's Aramark.
I remember. Oh.
It's Aramark, and so like they're going on about like, okay, Aramark now is like, oh my God, we're our bad. It's just, we're so inclusive, and we're so all about like
the fuck up.
We're so all about this like inclusivity and
whatever.
blah blah inclusivity and blah
so
blah. So
watermelon and chicken and
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but that's the takeaway of like Aramark running the fucking schools. But Aramark is a fucking prison fucking company. It's a private prison company.
Their future people.
Yeah, I suppose they're getting them used to the fucking food.
I mean, this is in Nyack, right?
Nyack, yeah, Rockland County.
This has happened before.
Oh, has it?
A couple years before it's happened.
All right.
This is where I start to get really weird about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
This is when I'll believe.
This is the first time I've seen it.
No, this is probably the second or third time I've heard about this happening.
Yeah.
I really get weirded out by this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you know this isn't okay.
Yeah, this
so
is.
What is
but
it?
you know what? This was an easy one to address because it's clear. It's like
stupid.
It's stupid. It's outright somebody fucking around, or who not. And like that's a really weird part of the fucking world anyway. Like, I'm sorry.
What?
People who live in fucking Rockland County are fucking weird, man. Because they're
something
like,
weird come from there. Besides everybody, but who?
It's
something famous from there,
I'm
right?
sure that you know who's from there. You know who's from there. You remember the guy with the fucking white mustache like that? Was like the
Colonel Sanders?
No, he's a big fat guy. He used to like do like a Orange County chopper repair. Those guys. They had like a reality TV show.
Something chopper. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're from. That's where they're.
Okay.
That's them.
Okay,
that's
I know what you're talking
they're
about.
from that part of the country, that part of New York. And so, but like it's like an easy thing to get out there. Everybody can get angry about it. It's like really cut and dry. It's bad, right? It's bad. And then they can really address it easily by going, okay, we're going to do some sensitivity training for all the fucking staff and blah, 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 fucking blah. But in the end of the day, it's still fucking Aramark, which is a horrendous fucking company that runs fucking prisons. It's a for-profit prison company.
I mean, Aramark is like, and you know what's crazy? Aramark's in quite a few places.
I worked for Aramark in Ireland.
Yeah, his friend used to work for Aramark.
Yeah.
Dad's there. But yeah, he used to work for Aramark. And like, I mean, they're got a good few decades in them, don't they?
Oh, they've been around for ages, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, they've slowly sort of weeded out. So like it used to be like, I mean, I remember like they're in the military now. They're doing military contracting for food service. It used to be like you'd work in a school and like the school district would employ you.
Yeah.
Like they would employ a catering staff.
Yeah. Which
And
I
they would
think
be
is
like
fine.
fucking great, actually.
And I
It's
think
really
that's
good,
fine.
local jobs. You're not working for like some fucking heartless company like Aramark.
Also, too, it's like
And
they're
it's- and it's-
sending all the food from
but
one
they're
distribution place, right?
They're civil service jobs, man. They're like, they're good, solid like very secure fucking jobs. And when you have a civil service job, you're entitled to sort of like helped out with mortgage deals,
Right.
and you're in a credit union that's
Right.
local. It's like they sort of destroy all that sort of local
and
shit.
how scary is that they send your food from like they have distribution centers?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
all comes
yeah.
from one place.
Yeah. I was talking to a guy, a friend of my sister-in-law's stepdad. He's a Marine, and he's a career military Marine guy, and he was a chef. He's like, and he was like, he runs the executive, food in Coronado in San Diego, which is the big Navy base in San Diego, and he's like one of the last remaining few actual chefs that the military employs, because now the military farms all that shit out to contractors like Aramark
Right.
and Compass
Right.
and big companies like that. And then on the bases, they don't even have like catering anymore. They just give concession stands to what do you like fucking Taco Bell.
So
and
were they the ones
all
who
that
are
kind of shit.
bringing in those kinds of people into schools?
Yeah, they're the people who are going like the school board.
Yeah, they were the ones bringing, because was there not a time
The school board, instead of having 150 employees in the catering division
Yeah.
that does like all the schools, and that might be
but
central.
they're the ones who brought in, because there was a time, I think, was it not California? There were some schools in California, they were getting like Taco Bell or like some other people in there, like not Taco Bell. I thought it was Pizza Hut actually.
Probably would have in California. Probably Taco Bell wouldn't surprise me. California.
Yeah, it was something like that, and I was thinking, who would actually let their kids eat that every day?
Yeah,
It was
it's
like-
not surprising. But I
I
mean,
think it was around the time of Super Size Me coming out.
but to think that fucking Aramark is any better than Taco Bell or fucking
No. But I mean, I just
Pizza Hut is fucking ridiculous, man. It's awful, man. I mean, they use the cheapest, most awful, nastiest fucking products. It's all the same big agra sort of like processed
Anything
fucking
Tyson
shit
and-
food. Yeah, it's gonna be all like all like Tyson
you're not
products.
gonna get
and
free range chicken.
no, you're not gonna get any kind of good food. You're not gonna get anything that's like prepared on site. You're gonna get stuff that's prepared in big
vats
huge
and
fucking vats of
disgusting.
that they're preparing
20,000
20,000 meals at a
fucking-
time.
yeah.
And when you prepare food at that high a level, you have to just whack tons of sort of chemicals in it to like preserve it and make it. It's disgusting. And this is what they're feeding our kids. And that was one of my takeaways from it. Like Aramark as well is a fucking horrible company.
Maybe China
Yeah.
should send balloons over. Maybe China should take over. Fuck it.
Huh?
Maybe China should take over. Fuck it.
Maybe that's what they were coming in the balloon for. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
They were.
Great way to get at kids.
They were like looking for jobs. They were like in the thing looking. Well, maybe we could fucking get
Speaking
a
of
job
that,
there.
doesn't
Yeah,
he
yeah.
like have like the most jobs? This guy now.
Who?
Biden. Did you see that? Did you watch
Oh
that?
yeah, apparently. But they say that shit all. the
I
time.
never
They're-
understand it. I never understand. I'm like, it can't be real.
No, none of it's real.
None of it's real. What?
I mean,
You ever just want to drop the thing and just be like, fuck it, like you know,
yeah, all the time.
just like just blow. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm more up for blood than you are. I think. I'm over it. I'm over pretending. Somebody was telling me the other day in the bar. You're not gonna believe this. It's probably like, was it last week? You're not gonna believe this. He's like, America's like one of the only. He was from. Let me see. Where was he from? He's from South Dakota.
Okay.
And he said,
I wouldn't have guessed that. I was gonna say, tell me the story first, and I'll tell you where it's from.
oh,
but
sorry.
I never
You would have guessed
one.
that. He was saying that without America, he's like you would not have the most amazing things. Like he's like everything we have with the arts, film, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
he's like,
nonsense.
and he's like, yeah, no, seriously. He was saying this, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm not saying anything bad against America. I feel bad for Americans. That's where they live.
Yeah.
That's all
yeah.
I'm saying. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think the country's ugly. I don't think that the people are terrible. I don't think anything. I just think it's a fucked up place to live.
Yeah.
For society, and he's like, that's bullshit. He's like, I'd much rather live there than I'd live here. And I was like, fair enough.
Well, what's he doing here?
What?
What's he doing?
Vacation.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, vacation. Oh, no.
I mean,
he's
if-
here to visit his friend Erasmus. But
Okay.
I was saying to him, I was like, so, well, like, how do you make it so much better there? He said, because we can do whatever we want.
Well,
we
I
don't
mean,
pay
yeah,
high
but I
tax.
mean, like, but you've already explained who he is to me. Like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, he is like the.
He's a victim.
He is, but he is also like the guy. Like for him, America is great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
That's true.
for him,
Sometimes we're
American
wrong,
is
yeah.
great. I mean,
Yeah.
he's from probably wherever in South Dakota he's from. You know what I mean?
Fine.
Yeah. I mean, his parents are well off
Well off to come here.
because he's here.
Yeah, because
You know?
there's a
Yeah, yeah.
shitload of kids probably in South or North Dakota or wherever the fuck they're all from, and they just can't do anything. And they'll never do
the
it.
vast majority of kids in South Dakota
Yeah.
can't do anything. But then there's like a handful of sort of this like, there's like the fiefdoms
Yeah.
in these small cities.
Yeah.
It's the guy who owns like
The doctor who owns
the plumbing fucking
Yeah.
supply shop. The fucking, the small chain of veterinary
Yeah.
offices.
It's okay
There's
for
a
him.
small business kind of fiefdoms that
then
they
I always
have. And these
wonder-
guys and their offspring,
then-
they have great lives.
But it's like, okay, let's say this, right? You say that to those people, and they're like, oh, well, my family, we've owned this since the 1950s, and da-da-da, and blah, blah, and America's great. And
Yeah, fair play to them.
Okay, fair play, right, yeah, okay. But then I'm like, but how about when a super Walmart moves next to your town, and they have the garage services, and they have plumbing services, they have every kind of service, like, then you're no longer the big fish anymore, right?
Yeah,
And that's what I always wonder is I'm just like, but aren't you just waiting for your turn?
I think what's happened with a lot of those is a lot of the sort of the smaller business the small business tycoons that
Yeah.
that run.
Yeah.
There's always like if you live in a small if I lived in Rochester, right?
Okay.
I was in the Rochester catchment area, right?
Okay.
And there's like there's like families that own. So I don't want to use the names.
Don't. Yeah.
But there's certain families that own, like,
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and you'll know the name. They've got a little shop in this town, a shop in that town.
Yeah.
They're not like multinationals, but they're small, but
Yeah.
like
They're killing it in the
they're
area.
medium-sized
Yeah.
enterprises, right? But a lot of them, like, Walmart comes in and it's going to put them out of business. But that doesn't really. They've already gone to the point where their money is now so divested from the day-to-day running of the shit that like their money lies. They've like
They have property. They have things that they can.
Their portfolios are so divested that they've got money.
So
They've got
what
money.
point?
They've got money earning money for them. They're making so much passive income
Yeah.
from having like 3 generations of successful, of a success running
Three
these small
generations
businesses.
of having your hedging
Yeah.
your bets really because you're
So somebody who comes from that, and that gets reinforced in school and in everything you're in
You're
your life,
amazing.
that you're amazing and that America's the most amazing country, because you don't ever see. The only time you ever see people from the other side is when they're doing shit for you, when they're working for you, and you don't see how their lives are horrible. You don't see actual poverty. And the only time you actually see poverty is when it's like, if you inconveniently get, you wind up in a place where you're not supposed to be.
Right.
Like somewhere out in the fucking hinterlands and your car breaks down, or in the fucking city, you're driving, you take a wrong turn and you find yourself in the fucking hood.
I know, but I just don't understand how. I guess I understand how people could be so short-sighted, but it's like up to what point? Like how about there's the one generation with the kid who's a fuck up and does this, and they pay for the rehab, and the other one has cancer, and then you get to a point where
Joe
it's like,
Biden's kids. That's Joe Biden's kids. You just described Joe Biden's kids.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Yeah. You
One
did.
died of cancer, and the other has a crack.
The other has a serious addiction
Sorry,
problem,
not to say
but has
that.
never paid a single solitary second's worth of price for having that addiction problem, which I don't think he should. But I don't think anyone should have to pay for having an addiction problem, because our prisons are full
But how
of
could
fucking
you feel
people
safe?
eating
I
animal food.
guess when you see something like Fox News, I think sometimes too there's this psychological thing that happens, this episode that happens to people where they're sitting in their home and their shitty lives and they're watching something like Fox or CNN or MSNBC, and they identify with somebody who they have no idea what that life is like, to have these big Christmas dinners and families and being protective of the suburbs, because they don't live like that.
No.
They're scrounging. So I'm like, what happens,
I don't know. There's very few people who live like that way
Seriously, and
anymore.
it's in every commercial. This is the American way. When they say it on Fox News, they're like, oh, well, you can't go into your favorite shop and get your big turkey. And I'm like, a lot of people don't live like that.
But even when I was back, which was 15 years ago, well, not 15 years, it was 2009 was when I came back, when I moved over here. I moved back from my story was I lived in Ireland from 1990 until 2005, and I moved back here in 2009. I couldn't wait to get out of the States. I mean, it was I was 4 years. I was just having been out for so long, I went back. I had such a bad culture shock. But anyway,
is that weird to you? Go for
really,
the first one, and then the second one ran Iraq.
Yeah,
It must have been
it was
me.
fucking weird.
That must have been weird. Sorry.
But
go ahead.
One of the things that really hit me was things like Thanksgiving. It used to be a fucking big deal when I was a kid, before I left.
Yeah.
It would have been 1990, 1991. I remember making efforts to go and visit family and shit, and everybody would get together.
Race to make sure that
everything was closed. And now, when I was back, I remember friends and clients and stuff, people were doing Thanksgiving like in shifts. It was a whole different thing.
Yeah.
The TV was on all the time, and people were like coming through because somebody has to work in the morning and somebody's working the night shift, and on Thanksgiving Day, and you know that whole idea of it's just not
doesn't exist.
No, unless you're really well off, and the well off people still do.
Yeah, but
and they are the A1 demographic. So in terms of like that's who you're going to see on TV. That's who you aspire to as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I don't. But it's like when. Oh, but okay. Oh, and I always say this to you is like it's so divided in that sense because if you're younger, that aspirational thing is not about Thanksgiving and doing whatever. I mean, they're more on like a TikTok or.
Yeah, I don't know
what where it goes from you because I think that,
I don't know what like 20-year-old, 21, 22-year-old kids do.
I don't think they want to have anything to do with this.
But I mean, I remember when I was that age, like we were out, and I moved out, and I lived out. I lived
They don't live at home.
But we wanted to get. We would do our own Thanksgivings and shit. You know what I mean?
No, they live at home and they don't want to be a part of it.
They don't want to be part of it. Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, where does this break? Because like that kid from South Dakota. I don't think like there's going to be many more.
I'm sure he's a lovely kid as well.
I mean, he's kind of a prick to be honest with you, but I don't care.
Well, I mean, this is probably.
Oh
fucking hell.
Yeah, but it's fine. Like
Let me tell you a story. I was in McCarthy's and I go to McCarthy's, and these two fucking obnoxious little cunts came in, right? And they're American, and they were nice enough kids, man. They used to play music once a week and stuff. And they come in with their Erasmus friends from Erasmus, the college program.
Yeah, this kid is
here. So I was working behind the bar, right? And this kid brings me his credit card, and it's like a New York Yankees Visa card. And I was like, I don't take that card. And he's like, what do you mean? It's a Visa. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't take it because it's got New York Yankees on it. I'm like, I'm a Mets fan. I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm not taking it, right? And I'm only fucking with him, right? And he's like, my dad told me it would work anywhere in Europe. And I was like, oh man, don't say that in front of fucking regular people. You look like a dick. I was like, I'm taking the piss out of you because I'm a fucking Mets fan. I don't want to take your fucking stupid Yankees fucking card, you little twat. Don't fucking say out loud that your daddy gave you a credit card. You look like a fucking knob. And he's like, oh, will you? I was like, give me the fucking card. And I just charge him. But I mean, it's like kids like that are coming over. You know what I mean? Like, there's like no more, years ago, like when I was younger, I know I'm fucking dating myself now, but no, kids just went and backpacked around fucking Europe, you know what I mean? And they stayed in hostels and all that kind of shit. Now, the fucking kids that are coming over here from the States are all mega wealthy. They're the sort of, they're not the fucking top level fucking elites, but they're very comfortable. They come from that sort of, that South Dakota, like the fiefdom of like, this dad probably owns like a chain of fucking used car dealerships.
I mean, I don't know, but he,
you know what I mean?
he was nice. It's just that he was also so unaware of the world.
Yeah.
And then when he was talking, he's like, it's the best. And he was like, because it went from rap music, English versus American rap, to this place where it's like, but we are just better because we're American. Like that was the point of the conversation.
But I mean, when you grow up with that and it gets drilled into your fucking head, like from the time you're like that big.
But at some point, right? This kind of like a weirdo kind of like opinion of the world, which doesn't even exist. Like not knowing anything about the world and thinking you're better than everything. You know what I mean?
You would think that you would go, wow, wait a minute, maybe I'll look and I mean, some people do, but most kids don't. I mean, most kids think that,
even the ones who are really well read and go abroad and they're like, in Positano and all that shit, they also still come back and they're like, no, but we're the best place in the world.
We're still the best. Yeah. It
doesn't matter if you're reading like
again, it is drilled into you from the time you are like,
I think it's drilled in everybody's head. I think we don't realize it that other places, they have that too, because I do think like Hollywood, best machine in the world, best propaganda machine in the world. They really, because I think have you ever seen shows where they take somebody from like outside of America and put them in there and they're like, oh, I'm living in Los Angeles, so I'm living here, and they're like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
A lot of times they get like this kind of.
And then you'll get the argument of like, well, people are like, why are they traveling all the way from Guatemala to come here because it's better here because you fucked it up so bad over there that they had to get the fuck out.
You farted on that side of the room, so everybody walked over there. Doesn't mean it smells like roses over there.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean. you know, like
That's true.
you know,
Guatemala. Very nice.
but I mean, you know, kids like that are you know, like I said, they're kind of, it's kind of like drilled into them from the time that they're.
Yeah, and
you know,
I think that's more important to get messaging there. Like, I mean, why do you think they invest all this stupid money in that? What's that fucking thing that Charlie Kirk guy's in part of? The American thing, the Young American Politico, like.
Oh yeah.
You know what it is.
I can't remember what it's called.
Changing, Turning Point.
Turning Point.
Like
TPA, TPUSA. Yeah. Which is like toilet paper to me.
It does sound like TV. But they know why, because you have to get to that age group. Because that guarantees you the next 30 years of people to bullshit with, you know?
But I mean, I find them so fucking annoying, and they're so smug, and he's an asshole. But like those kids are so fucking smug, and they're like, you know. But again, like.
But imagine if somebody else got them.
You know, like again, what I'm saying to you is like, but like America is fucking great for them. I mean, it is fucking great.
Yeah, you're like, the system isn't broken, it's fine.
Because it's like, you know, that is the cohort of people that the system works fucking phenomenally for. You know what I mean? And they're never going to want for anything. They're going to go to the best schools. They're going to get a great job. I mean, if a handful of them will fall off, they'll get addicted to drugs, and there'll be problems along the way, and blah, 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 blah. But the vast majority of that cohort, of that sort of middle class cohort, upper middle class cohort, will be okay. They're going to do great. You know, and they're going to go on to, unfortunately, in 20 years' time, that guy's probably going to be a politician. You know what I mean? And he'll be making decisions about, you know, what happens to
other people.
Yeah.
Period. Which it's like, you might not even be able to make decisions for yourself well, so that's crazy.
Yeah, it's you know, it's where we are. Anyway.
Not that I'm positive, because I'm not really that positive lately, but I don't think it has to be that way. Right now, like I really don't. I think honestly, I wish people, you know, remember when everyone was so crazy about Bernie?
Yeah.
Okay, I just think that they need, and I don't think they need a leader, but I just think that people need to have somebody who's actively going after, not a Greta Thunberg, not anything like that. I just mean
even again with like even my Bernie thing was like, even at the time I said like, we don't need to have no. I mean I you know, like, fair play to Bernie, he's like been very consistent but like even he was like, it's not me, it's us. Yeah. But people were like, it's
it's Bernie fever, and that's you know what it is. Yeah. That's where you let the media take off, and they do it because they create this thing, be like,
it's a horse race.
We're covering Bernie all the time. Yeah.
They turn into a horse race, and like
it's
like in Monty Python's Life of Brian, where like he's like, no, you're all individuals, and they all in unison all go, yes, we are all individuals, and you're like, no, you don't get it, man. You know, and you know, the problem is we always look for like a leader. It's just I mean I think of some sort of human nature fucking vibe in there.
But it's fine to communicate. It's fine to get things done together. Like you were talking about that last week. It's fine to work together. It's fine to look for like, you know, advice or, you know, like just like, I don't know, somebody to console you sometimes. I get that, but I mean like, this is insane. Yeah. Like, you know, they're being consoled by these fucking idiots on TV, and it's true.
Yeah.
It really, I think they've done the studies, and people's brains are fucking wired.
I mean, I can't listen to those guys for more than like 20 or 30 seconds, and I can't. I have to turn, like Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, Steven Crowder.
Have you seen his new thing?
I can't listen to any of them for more than a second.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, well, Ben Shapiro's the one who kills me. It's the voice. Him and Jordan Peterson, because they actually are like, you know what, I understand why they connect to people. They cry so much. They cry so much, and people connect with them.
But Ben Shapiro talks like this. He talks really fast because he talks about stuff that he doesn't know really much about. He's talking fast because he don't want you to get a word in, because he knows if you get a word in, you're going to fucking blah, 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 blah. He's just fucking, it's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
I prefer the Brie
Brie Bartiromo.
It's my favorite thing you do now. It's done. There was something else before, but Maria Bartiromo is my favorite. That's my favorite. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I want her to come over here and be with her.
Yeah, definitely.
Go on a date with her.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah.
So, I'm wishing. You know what? I was wishing I had some friends who'd be into like staying up on Sunday and watch the Super Bowl. I'd love to watch the Super Bowl. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Philadelphia's in it, and I'm hoping Philadelphia win the Super Bowl.
So they tear up the Super Bowl?
Yeah. So
I watch
the post-game show, which is like just Philadelphia fans like tearing Philadelphia
Remember when Aaron went
down.
to that? When Aaron went to that, because his business partner at the time, Ryan, was from Philadelphia, and they went mental.
Yeah.
I think I saw people falling from his videos, falling from balconies
Yeah.
and everything. But why? I don't understand that.
Only when they win, not when they
why?
lose.
But why?
I have no. But you know, it's become a thing now. It's become a thing now. So it's not like it's just a random sort of like
a random
random thing that just
aggression,
kicks
like,
off.
yeah.
No, this is like
But just to
this
fuck
is a
shit
thing
up.
that they will do. This is the reputation they have for doing it. So they have like this generation is now like, you know, Philadelphia haven't won in a while. So like they're like, well, we got to outdo, you know, the last time that the Eagles won. We've got to fucking do
What was
better.
that, 5 years ago?
5 or 6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm behind. I'm
unbelievable.
100% behind the Eagles, man.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you just
yeah.
want to see them tear
I
the
just
place
want to
up.
see them destroy
Did
Philadelphia.
they get
again.
after, what was the little bell? Is that that's in the Liberty Bell?
The Liberty Bell.
Yeah. Did they go after that at the time?
I don't know.
Because they go hard.
They have. There's nothing sacred.
No.
There's nothing sacred. I mean, they tear the whole fucking
It's
city
like,
apart.
but Philadelphia, people there scare me a little bit. They're harder.
They're a bit. Yeah, they're very. They're
Don't
fucking.
say anything.
But I'm from New York, so I got to be really careful because like everybody from every city on the East Coast fucking hates us.
They should.
Because they're all jealous of
Yeah. 'Cause
people
you're
from New York, right? So, but Philadelphians have a real fucking chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
Because if people from New York will say, "Oh, you from Jersey?" I'm from fucking Philly. I'm like, "Oh yeah, it sounds exactly the fucking same, mate. The same fucking accent."
But
Yeah. But I told you, man, I went to UMass, so like, you know, and you know, it's mostly good natures. I mean, we used to have a lot of fun with it. Me and my friend were
how
both
could you
from.
take that serious?
Yeah, me and my friend were both from the city, from New York. So like we were always taking the piss out of the Boston guys. But we were funny and we had a good sense of humor. We had friends and shit. It was always a laugh. You know what I mean?
That accent's special.
Yeah, and that's a special accent. And I told you, I still find
Yeah.
girls with that accent quite sexy.
The Saudi accent.
Yeah.
I know.
Saudi. From
Saudi.
Saudi.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Philadelphia that's a whole different fucking ball game, man. Yeah.
I
can't
find
wait,
any
man.
New England accent so odd.
Yeah, they are a
sounds a
bit
bit,
strange. Yeah.
Something's
The
wrong.
Kennedy dropping your ass.
Yeah.
Drop your ass. Yeah.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
I don't know.
I just know I
We should
can't say
fucking-
it. Maria Bartiromo.
Maria Bartiromo.
I can't say it. I can't do it like I can.
Maria Bartiromo.
I think you
Hey,
should date her.
get the fuck out of here.
I think you should date her. I'd just like to see you after.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be like, I don't have enough money for her. You got to be like.
I don't have
you've
enough
got-
money for her.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's happening to you?
See,
You
yeah.
dirty.
You just talk about a New Yorker and it fucking comes out. You know what I mean? It's like, anyway. So yeah, hopefully Philadelphia win and you know, yeah.
Hopefully Rihanna performs. That's what I'm gonna see.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Who's on the who's?
Rihanna.
It's Rihanna. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Okay.
What's happening?
Yeah. I was actually reading like really quick thing about the football thing. It's like unions and football and shit. Like football players have really. I listened to this guy who's really can't remember his fucking name. I'll put it down in the notes.
Is it an ex-football player?
No, it's a
okay.
guy who's like does a radio show in New York, and I heard other people talk about this, but like, and it came up when that Damar, what the fuck was the guy's name from Buffalo? The guy who got
The most recent one.
yeah, who had he had a heart attack on Anyway, they were going on about it like he was in his rookie year.
Yeah. Is this like
So-
the one now they're coming to COVID conspiracies? This one?
I don't. Whatever.
No, sorry. Go ahead. Go to your thing. I'm distracted.
But he's like not covered because he's like you have to be in the league for like 2 or 3 years before your coverage
for,
kicks in.
Are you joking?
So he's like not covered. Like that injury is like he's not covered
He's
for that
paying
injury.
for that.
And they're having like a sort of they're having a whip round. Kind of like, they're all like chipping in to try and getting people are like doing GoFundMe's and stuff to get funding for his
Well, now
thing. But he
you're-
doesn't have like
now you're really
he's
fucking
probably
with me.
never going to play football again.
You're now fucking with me.
Yeah.
You're joking.
No, I'm not joking.
I thought though, I thought in your rookie year you still get coverage.
I'm pretty sure this guy was saying that there's like the coverage is like very fucking limited
And
for your rookie.
minimal.
But I mean, look, no,
But I
like
mean, it's an
no, you're covered. He's covered for that.
because it's not related to.
He's exactly. He's covered for that shit that happens on the field. You're covered for. But going forward, like in any career, like this is what they're fighting for. They want health insurance.
Yeah.
Because they're in a very like. like,
Are you serious?
like the average average NFL pro football career is only 3 years.
I thought it was even less, maybe
Yeah.
2.5. I thought it was super.
Yeah.
They don't last.
So
they can't.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, like
Fucking
I
idiots,
watched the game. I watched a replay of the San Francisco game, and like they were taking guys off every fucking 15 minutes. There was guys coming off, and these are big ass motherfuckers, man. Yeah. So like when two big ass motherfuckers hit each other and hit the deck, man. Like when there's an injury, that's a serious fucking injury.
That's why I think the aliens was leaving us alone. These idiots will do it to themselves.
Yeah,
imagine watching.
For sure, for sure. But anyway, you're saying like one of the things that the fucking players are pissed off about and have been for fucking years, and I didn't know this, they keep making that halftime longer. It's going to be a 35-minute break this year, right?
Okay.
At the Super Bowl. And like these guys are like, you're loosened up, you do like a warm-up and all this shit, and you get out there, right? And normally it's 12 minutes, right? It's a 12-minute break, and they just can stay warmed up. But it's really difficult to stay warmed up for 35 minutes and to come back out. So they're all going back out there, and they're stiff, and they're not.
That's got to be a long day anyway.
Yeah. And so like this is something that's been going on, but they don't give a shit because this is the money. There's more money in that fucking halftime show than there is in the fucking game.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Because I mean, it started being a thing, and then they started getting the big stars on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean that was never a thing when I was.
Yeah, you were saying like, cause like you said this to me before.
The Super Bowl was a regular game.
Like it started like Michael Jackson did one, and then
I know Janet. Remember Janet Jackson and Justin Bieber with his where her titty came out?
Timberlake.
Did I say Justin Bieber?
Yeah.
Justin fucking Timberlake Bieber, who gives a fuck? They're all the same. But yeah, so I'm interested. There's kind of part of me wants to watch the game, but I realized that the game, like it starts at 6 o'clock in New York Eastern time, so that's like midnight here. That game will go on until
4 or 5.
4 or 5, yeah, which is just ridiculous.
I've seen it before other years. I've watched it here.
I've watched it. I've never watched it here, but I've watched it. I watched it in Ireland a couple times because there was quite a lot of interest in it in Ireland.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It was a lot of. There weren't as many Americans living in Ireland when I lived there.
Yeah.
But like there were so many Irish people who had American family who had been in the States, and nearly everybody I knew had gone over on a J1 visa and worked in the States for like a summer, and they had made friends and they watched games and they'd been to games and shit, and everybody's a team. So I'd watched
So you want Philly to win?
Oh yeah, just to see them destroy Philadelphia.
You can watch that on the news next day. You'll love it.
Oh, I'll watch it. Yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
That part
I'll definitely catch a highlight. I'll catch a highlight next time.
I'd be really. It just I'm super impressed by the fact that they don't break the city. They break it down because they won. I'm impressed by that.
Yeah.
It might be a shit place. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Been there. It's fine. It's fine. Philadelphia's fine.
I was there once.
Yeah.
I was driving through. I got a cheesteak.
I saw the On the Run. I didn't even get a cheesteak. I saw the On the Run tour with Beyonce.
I wanted to do the thing. I wanted to go up to the thing where Rocky did the fucking da-da-da, and but we didn't have time because we were driving. So, but we got a cheesteak, and it was.
Was it good?
That was all right. It was a greasy fucking sandwich.
Why they hate New York.
It was a greasy sandwich.
That's why people hate New York.
It's a greasy sandwich. What are you gonna do, man? Anyway. So So anyway, good luck to the Eagles, and see you next week. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes. See you next week. Bye.